Hello everyone, Joe here. After putting a lot more emphasis on PC and Switch RPG lately, I think it's already the right time to jump back into the PS4 game. And since I haven't yet making any JRPG list for PS4, so it's probably the best place to start. Alright then, let's get started.
My turn! Here I go! My turn!
Odin Sphere is a masterpiece of game design and one of the forgotten gems of the PS2 era. Leifthrasir raises the bar for a remake with the enhanced version of the original game. Not only does this game bring the gameplay mechanics to the same high level, there are also a lot of small improvements that make this game heavenly to play. If you are looking for a fun hack-and-slash action JRPG with a deep customizable system, Odin Sphere Leifthrasir is some of the most enjoyable times to be had. Yakuza Like a Dragon has everything it needs, an excellent crop of new characters and even a new location to base a series in. However, it doesn't abandon long-time players as it includes enough callbacks and familiar elements that they expect. The turn-based combat, while slightly rough around the edges, manages to impress. The only reason Yakuza fans won't adore this game is if they despise turn-based combat. Even then, it's well worth giving a shot for the beautifully written story and fresh take on the Yakuza formula.
That all you got?
Neo The World Ends With You is brimming with excitement. It retains the freshness, uniqueness, and stylish nature of the original game, but at the same time reinvent itself without forgetting the complexity and tons of content usually found in the JRPG genre. The combat feels good and the various mechanics all work well together. While its new cast of characters have a lofty legacy to live up to, they manage to prove themselves as equally memorable. If you love the first installment, this sequel will surely live up to it. For a series that has been going on the radar for quite some time, Atelier Sophie 2, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream proves that it's one-of-a-kind experience, even in a genre saturated with many entries. Sophie is just as charming and inspiring as ever, and even though the story tags on more dimensional time travel drama, but it's still a touching and cozy experience. Gathering, crafting, and combat are all plenty of fun as well, and flooded with enough layers of mechanics that is easy to pick up but hard to master. If you have enjoyed a Atelier game in the past, then you are most likely gonna love this one as well. Ace 9 Monstrum Nox is another excellent addition to the Ace series. Its darker tone and gloomier atmosphere help it to stand out from the rest of the series, but it somehow works in its favor. More emphasis on storytelling and a wider range of gameplay elements makes for a game that's a little more absorbing and one that also gives you some time to breathe between all the fast-paced action. Many might be repelled by the aged graphics and the crude direction, but those who manage to get past that will find the very best of old-school action JRPG. Overall, Ace 9 Monstrum Nox is a must-have for the long series fans. For the first time since the very first Valkyria Chronicles, it feels like the series has realized its full potential. The storyline is thoughtful and engrossing, the cast is varied and likable, and the combat is challenging and rewarding throughout. It's easily the longest Valkyria game yet, but it doesn't suffer for it. Longtime fans have a lot to love here, and for newcomers, it's a decent place to try the series, even though I would highly recommend playing from the first installment. As a modern take on a fantastic formula, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is an easy title to recommend for any tactical RPG fans. Despite some dated shortcomings, this version upgrade is more than the sum of its parts. NieR Replicant tells a fantastic story that's carried by great writing and amazing soundtrack. Main characters are dynamic with their own interesting backstories, and the plot is as emotionally devastating as you would expect. NieR Replicant is essential for anyone who has love for NieR Automata, and it's a special experience on its own. Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age is easily the definitive edition of Final Fantasy XII. It offers the same great adventure that many played and loved on PS2 and enhanced it with many elements and additions that improve the overall experience. Of course, not every facet of the game has aged well, but the clever combat and fantastic cast of characters earns this entry its status as classic RPG. Veterans will appreciate the number of new features and improvements, while newcomers can finally taste this great JRPG with better experience.
Don't waste any chances.
13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is a phenomenal visual novel and a surprisingly great JRPG game. It's clear that this game is so much more than just a little RTS, a little action, and a decent story. It delivers a dense and gripping story full of twists that is grounded in its characters and smaller moments. Without ever losing sight of its need to entertain players, 13 Sentinels intellectually engage with and challenge them. For fans of sci-fi or winding mysteries like Persona, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is a must-have. Tales of Arise is the perfect example of how a franchise can renew itself and achieve new quality standards. The story and characters are not particularly ambitious, but they give you a fun world to explore for the 50+ hour runtime. It features a bright living world, interesting boss fights, and exciting quests. Dramatic cutscenes and memorable character moments help you to get immersed in the story, while a satisfying combat system becomes more and more engaging as your party powers up. If you are a die-hard Tales series fans, then surely you're already buying this game. Final Fantasy VII Remake is the game that knew how to blend the past with the present. The new battle system is fantastic and does a superb job of blending strategy and action. Additional stories and character moments are appreciated, and the way each character is portrayed is perfect. And although certain changes made to the story may not be as well received by all players, overall there's no denying that it's a massive success. I personally like the changes of the story, since it makes the experience fresh and more enjoyable. If you have never played a Dragon Quest game before, then this is the best introduction to the series you could ask for. The original version of Dragon Quest XI was already a near-perfect JRPG, but Dragon Quest XI's adds just enough to make it objectively better option between the two. It's a bit like Persona 5 Royal, in the sense that this expanded re-release makes the original game pretty much redundant. The visuals technically aren't as nice as they were in the original PS4 and PC version since it is based on the Switch release, but the visuals no longer feel like a noticeable downgrade thanks to an increase in resolution. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4 is the dramatic conclusion to an epic story that's been almost a decade in the making. It's taken a long time to get here, but Trails of Cold Steel 4 is a well-rounded experience, brimming with memorable characters, storyline, and world building. Honestly, recommending this game alone is kinda stupid, because you have to play all the previous installments first in order to enjoy this game. And let me tell you that the story is the core of this series. So if you miss it, you pretty much miss like 70% of the enjoyment. There is a satisfying conclusion that includes many of the best storylines and mechanics from the series. So make sure to play from the very first installment.
Alright, got it!
NieR Automata remains one of the greatest games of this generation, if not of all time. And with all of the game's content available in one complete package, this is the perfect way to experience this bizarre and haunting masterpiece. The combat is superb, the story is captivating, the atmosphere and tone are well designed, and the soundtrack is one of the best in existence. If you haven't pulled the trigger on NieR Automata yet, then do yourself a favor by playing this game. Persona 5 Royal improves upon what was already one of the greatest RPGs of this generation. It allows players to experience the story they already love in a new way without losing any of the beauty from the original game. The amount of change brought to the title is significant. The excellent story and its lovable multi-dimensional characters along with the challenging tactical combat are all refined and back for another round with new surprises and new friends in town. From here on out, Persona 5 Royal is without a doubt the best way to enjoy Persona 5. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. Obviously, there are still tons of other PS4 JRPG games that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best PS4 JRPG that probably deserve a spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace.
What's the plan?